All right, so at this point, I've already gone to the Endometriosis Clinic. The doctor, he sat me down, we talked about my history, about all the different things that I have that are symptoms of endometriosis. He asked me various questions. I told him different things that the pelvic floor therapist had me tell him, like where I'm sore and all of that. Going to the pelvic floor therapist, she's done both internal and external pelvic ultrasounds, and then she's manually gone up there and felt tender spots and has helped me get a tool that I can help alleviate some of that pain by doing exercises at home on my own, along with some other like breathing exercises to relax my pelvic floor and various things like that. She's been really helpful. She's so sweet. And she's the one who referred me to the Endometriosis Clinic. Anywho, back to that. The doctor sat me down, did all that. Then he took me to the exam room and he did an internal pelvic ultrasound as well. And then he manually felt up there and in my rectum. Went back to his office and talked about what he found. And he said before we went in, he was like, definitely she has endometriosis. The fact that I have blood in my stool as well shows that it has progressed quite a lot. So then when we talked the second time, he said, I don't understand. I didn't see any signs of any of that. So that doesn't mean that you don't still have endometriosis and that there aren't like lesions on the outside of my bladder or various things. Gotta get ready at the same time. Here. Sorry. He said he has absolutely no clue why I have blood in my stool at times. So it's like, great. So it was all kind of, not gonna lie, a big letdown. I was like, are you kidding me? I thought I'd go and he'd just be like, oh yeah, definitely. And that would be that and we could continue forward. Clearly that's not the case. So we have to go in laparoscopically and see what's going on in there. So that means surgery, even if it is laparoscopic. And then once they're in there, if there's a whole bunch of stuff going on, then they will take care of it and take out the lesions and the various things that are going on. There's no way to know till they get in there, unfortunately. But we were pretty sure that was going to be the case anyway. Still, it was hard for me to accept, I guess. And right now with school and stuff, I can't do surgery till after I graduate. So all of that's kind of on pause. He knows this really great doctor in Washington that actually takes my state insurance, which is huge. She's all the way in Seattle, but what are you going to do? The fact that there actually is one. He said only one in Washington and he trusts her. So he already sent the paperwork over there and we are conversing and I'll make an appointment and we'll do all that stuff. But it's definitely on pause right now. We don't really know what's going on with my bladder and all that stuff. So we will find out, I guess. So Friday, I just had my 4th injection in my neck. The last 3 injection sessions that I had, it was every like 2 to 3 weeks. Trying to get as many in as possible before I start school, which is less than 2 weeks now. Like, what? How the heck did that happen? Craziness. Anywho, now that I'm starting class in a couple weeks, it's gonna be intense. It's from Tuesday to Saturday, 10 to 6 all day. Tuesday and Wednesdays, luckily, we work from home, video style. The other days I have to drive all the way to Vancouver. A little bit over 2-hour commute round trip. So Friday, we were talking about it. We're trying to figure out, they don't have anyone in the clinic who can do injections on Mondays, which is literally the only day I have off that I could go to an appointment like that. They even work Saturdays sometimes, but so do I soon here with school. They, as in the doctor and his assistant who's been doing my injections, have been working together, but since I technically am going to her, it's a whole lot cheaper, which is awesome, but I still get the amazing doctor. Not that the gal who's working on me isn't amazing. So we all talked about it and decided to switch to something called PRP injections, platelet-rich plasma. This was so cool. They did it Friday. They took my blood. They, I assume, put it in like one of those centrifuges or whatever it's called, and they isolated the plasma and the platelets, and then they took that and put it in my neck. I just thought that was so cool. At the PRP, I'm able to do every 3 months instead of 2 to 3 weeks. So the doctor is amazing enough. He is going to stay Friday night late so that I can actually commute from my class to the clinic and get the injections. And he said it's a lot more manageable for him to do every 3 months instead of like 2 to 3 weeks, which I totally understand. I think that's amazing that he's willing to do that at all. While I'm in school every 3 months, it might only be one round, it might be 2 different rounds, depending on how it all works out with scheduling. But yeah, so PRP therapy. He told me that it was, I want to say 425. What I was doing before the prolotherapy was 125 per round. So when you think about it, it actually ends up being less money doing the PRP therapy instead of the prolotherapy. So it saves me some money in the long run. Plus, I've had this strong feeling that having both different styles of injections is exactly what my neck needs. So the fact that the doctor came up with that and said it, I was like, oh yeah, I was thinking that as well. So I'm excited. It's neat, and I don't have to worry about trying to go to class while I've had an injection. So it might be 1, maybe 2 days of school that I will probably have to miss. We'll see. I was told that the PRP therapy was actually more intense and more of a longer healing after the injection. I myself did not experience that. It was about the same as like the second or third round of prolotherapy. First round, oh my lord, not gonna lie, it hurt so bad. But I also didn't know what to expect. It was far worse than what I expected, which is saying something, because I always blow things up like, oh my god, this is so challenging, or it's gonna hurt so bad, I'm so nervous about it. And then I go in and I'm like, oh, that wasn't too bad. And everyone's like, you always do that. Why don't you just not do that? And you don't have to worry about being freaked out. I'd rather be freaked out about it and then go into it and it being a whole lot less than I was expecting, than to be like, oh yeah, I got this, and then go in and be like, oh lord, what did I do? To each their own. After 23 years of health issues, that's what tends to work best for me. So the second and third round of prolotherapy didn't hurt as bad as the first time, for sure. It helps knowing what you're getting into. It just got easier, and so I was expecting this one to be way worse because they said that it probably would be. But the shots didn't hurt any worse than the second or third times of prolotherapy. The healing time was just the same. Everything was the same. So honestly, we'll see how I feel in 3 months. If I'll be able to go to class the next day, but maybe not be as hands-on, or if I'm gonna just have to take that day of rest, because then I have Sunday and Monday also to heal. We will see how it works, but it's gonna work a whole heck of a lot better than the prolotherapy every 2 to 3 weeks. Excited about that. I'm excited that school's starting soon. I'm also pretty nervous because I was like, where did all this time go? I've been working on scholarships. I've been working on this enclosure for my snake because it had to be done before I started school. I've just had to do so many things. Editing video, GoFundMe, so that I don't have to worry about it when I'm in school, because it's going to be so intense. I'm not really going to be able to do much of anything else. Once school starts, it will be 2 months that I took to get on schedule, used to waking up super early and factor in, okay, these are the hours that I'm in school, so I've been busy during those times. And then I take breaks when I'm supposed to. Used to eating 6 meals a day, but I'm going to be just eating 5, which doesn't seem like much of a difference, but it really has been, so I'm glad I did that as well. Everything that I can possibly do to prepare myself, so hopefully this won't be as big of a thing as you would think. It's going to be intense. Hopefully it'll just be smooth sailing once I get there. But I don't see myself doing anything but school. Getting up, doing my PT exercises, my strength training, my cardio from my pots, doing all of my supplements and drinks and oils and creams, all of those things, but doing them as quickly as I can in the morning, and then going to class. Then I'll come home and eat and go to sleep and do it over and over and over. Only 2 days to rest, but one of those days I'm going to have to be working with James to get all the domestic duties taken care of. Relax, you've got this. You want this. You deserve this. It's going to be amazing, and I'm going to have another skill to put under my belt and can move forward with life even more. So, yeah. Everything's going pretty well, so yay.